Hi everyone! Welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Alphabet Soup, we choose a letter from the alphabet and we draw food that starts with that letter. So let's draw. Today's letter is the letter C. C is for carrot. So today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little Mrs. Carrot. Let's begin. These are the supplies that you'll need for today's drawing. Now, in most of my drawings, I draw this way. This is called landscape. It just means that it's longer going left to right than it is going up and down. But for today's lesson, I'm going to turn my pad around because I want a longer space to draw my carrot. Okay? So let's begin. What you're going to need for today's lesson is a pencil, an eraser, and some color. I'm using coloring pencils today, and I'm going to use the colors orange, yellow, red, green, and black. You could use a black coloring pencil, or you can use a black thin tip marker. I'm probably going to use my black marker. And just for fun, if you have one, an old dollar store paintbrush that you haven't used for painting, you can use this to wipe off any dust from your page or any eraser bits. So let's take all of this off of our canvas and let's begin. First, we're going to draw the letter C. This is a capital C and a small c. Okay? And now we're going to write out the word carrot. Carrot starts with C, A, R, R, O, and T. That's how I draw my T's. You could also draw it like this. Okay? Now, let me get all the dust off my page. I'm basically going to draw my carrot from as big as I can on this page. I'm going to start by putting my eraser under the word carrot, and somewhere around here I'm going to draw myself a little line, because that's where I want to start my carrot. Okay, so watch how I draw the carrot. I'm starting at the top. She's big at the top and she curves down to a point at the bottom. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Big at the top, curving down to a point at the bottom. Our carrot is nice and big. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the stems of the carrot on, or the carrot top. You can draw it any way you want, but I'm going to draw it like a little leaf, like this. Okay? Now the next thing we're going to do is draw a nice smiley face on Mrs. Carrot. Anywhere you want, you can put her eyes. I'm going to go about here and I'm going to give her big egg-shaped oval eyes. And I'm going to draw a smaller oval inside of her eye to make her pupil. Gonna give her one on each eye. Okay. And a nice big smiley face like this. All right. Now the last thing we're going to do is all over the carrot, we're just going to put little curved lines like this. It doesn't have to be anywhere in specific, but just give her some curvy lines. All the way down to the bottom. Okay? Okay, I hope you're all caught up. Now let's take our green color and let's just color in the top of Mrs. Carrot. Don't press too hard on your coloring pencil if you're using a coloring pencil, because you don't want to break the tip. And when you press too hard, you could make your hand very, very tired. And you don't want to have a tired hand when you're drawing, because drawing is so much fun. And if your hand gets tired, you might want to stop. I never want to stop drawing. I love it. And when you use coloring pencils, always turn your pencil once in a while, so that you don't wear the tip down all in one spot. And your pencil lasts longer because you don't have to keep sharpening it. So color, 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 turn the pencil, color, 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 turn the pencil. You can use a light green or a dark green, or you can even use a brown if you want, a light brown for the carrot top. Don't forget to turn your pencil. If you want it to be a little more green than that, just put on a second layer. That just means you're coloring it in a second time. And you're putting more color onto your page. So it's going to be a different shade of green. It's going to be a little darker. Don't forget to turn your pencil. And it's going to look a lot more green if you put a second or even a third layer if you want. Okay, I think Carrot Top is looking pretty good. Turning the pencil. Okay, as usual, I have dust all over my page and I don't know why. Okay, now we're going to take our orange color and we're going to color in the entire carrot. The only thing I want you to be careful of is don't get any orange into her eyes. If you do, it's not a big deal, but if you can try not to, that would be nice. So let's begin coloring the orange in. And this is a big coloring job. So make sure you turn your pencil. Because when you start drawing and you break a pencil, it's like, oh, I have to sharpen it now. And you don't want to have to stop drawing to go back and sharpen your pencil all the time. So just turn it often and draw very lightly. I like to color in circles. I'll show you here. You see how I'm doing this? Little circles. Turning my pencil, little circles. That's what I do all the time. I color with little circles. I don't do lines like this, unless I want the lines to show, because sometimes you don't want it to look like lines. So I always color with little circles. Turn your pencil. Being careful not to color in the eyes if you can. Take your time. There's no rushing. We're drawing to have fun and to relax. Do you like eating carrots? I love carrot cake. Actually, I'm going to stop the video right now to show you a picture of a carrot cake that I made. I make carrot cakes usually in the spring, and I make a cream cheese icing, and it's so good. I also like to eat carrot soup. And what else do I make with carrots? Oh yes, you know how you make mashed potatoes? Well, sometimes I add some cooked carrots in my mashed potatoes and I mash them all up together, and it's really, really yummy. I'm being careful again not to get the orange into her eyes. I did a good job there. I hope you guys are doing a good job and enjoying yourselves. Don't forget to turn your pencil. If you get orange in her mouth, that's okay. Don't worry about that. We just want to keep her eyes white, that's all. So you can color in her mouth with orange, that's perfectly fine. Don't forget to turn your pencil and color very lightly. And if you want to draw the way I do, color in little circles. Just little circles, circles, circles. Turn your pencil, circles, circles, circles. Carrots are very good for you. You know, they say if you eat carrots, it's very good for your eyesight. That's because there's a vitamin in carrots that helps you see well. So always eat carrots. Don't forget to turn your pencil and color very lightly. Do you guys know who Bugs Bunny is? Yeah. What's up, Doc? He eats a lot of carrots, and he sees pretty well. He can see Daffy Duck coming a mile away. Turn your pencil. All right. I'm almost at the end of my carrot. How are you guys doing? Turning my pencil. All right. Now, sometimes I'll go ahead and I'll color it in a second time, putting on a second layer. But today I'm going to do something different. I took out my yellow and my red coloring pencils. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the carrot with a layer of yellow and then a layer of red, very, very lightly. I think that's going to make it look really nice. And you don't have to be perfect here. You can just color anywhere you want. It just gives it a nice color to have yellow and orange and red together. Turn your pencil. Right now, today, actually, as I'm videotaping this, the snow is melting where I live, and I can't wait to get out into my garden and plant some carrots. Don't forget to turn your pencil. I plant carrots every year, little baby carrots. I love those. I pull them right out of the ground and I eat them. I just shake them off and I eat them. They're so good. Turning my pencil. Do you notice how it's giving a nice color when you combine the orange and the yellow? Okay, that's fun. Now I've got my red color, and what I'm going to do is take the red and just color in a little bit around each side of Mrs. Carrot. I'm not going to go over the entire carrot with red, just a little on the top and around the edges, the sides. Okay? And while you're doing that, I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow, another layer of yellow. If you're happy with your carrot the way it is, just leave it the way it is. I'm very happy with these colors. I think they look fabulous. Okay, so I hope you're all caught up. I've got my black marker. You can use a black pencil or you can use your regular pencil, but I'm going to use a black marker. And I'm going to, all of those lines that we made, I'm just going to outline every single one. And it's okay if you don't do it perfectly. See, I'm not doing it perfectly. I just want it to stand out a little bit. There. Now the next thing I'm going to do with my marker is I'm going to outline her eyes, her pupils, and her mouth. Again, it's just so that it'll stand out a little more. Okay? And her mouth. Now I'm going to take my black marker and color in her pupils. I think she's looking really happy. All right, that's one. I always think the way I draw my eyes, they look like eggs. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good so far. I'll give you just a second to catch up. Now, because our carrot is a Mrs. Carrot, we're going to give her some eyelashes. Just a few little eyelashes, just to make her look like a girl. There. That's cute. And I'm going to give her some teeth. I'm going to show you how to draw teeth the easy way. From one end of her mouth to the other end of her mouth, I'm going to draw a line right in between, like this. And you could leave it like that if you want. It looks like she has lips. But I'm going to give her teeth. So when you draw teeth, I'm just drawing lines from the top of the bottom to the bottom of her mouth. It doesn't have to be perfect. There. Now she's got teeth. That makes her look quite happy. And remember, anytime you do a drawing or a painting, I want you to sign your name. Take ownership of that work of art because you created it and it's beautiful and it's unique and it's yours. Well, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this drawing today, and I'll see you next time on Alphabet Soup. Thanks for watching. Bye.